My name is Max Seminchuk. I'm CEO of Seductive Mobile, and I'm today here with Johan Lundin from Agendo application. And Johan, could you tell a bit about what do you do?
Sure. Agendo is a booking app. We have a native Android, iOS, and also a web widget. And it's a horizontal booking system, which means that you can book with several different types of businesses, which we think makes sense both for companies and users. So we started about 2 years ago. I was previously a stockbroker, but wanted to do something more exciting. So ended up doing this. And so far we have launched all both Android, iOS, and web app, and have our first paying customers.
Sounds really good.
Yeah.
So, how did you come to doing this, being a stockbroker, and what were your main challenges?
Well, the main challenges, I would say, to start with, I had an idea that I wanted to do this for a while, and I was looking for a good time to do it, and eventually I just decided, darn it, I don't want to be a stockbroker for the rest of my life, so let's try to build an app, a booking app. And the challenges are always bigger than you think, because you think, you just have an idea and you build an app.
Yeah.
But there's so many components that go into it. One of the largest ones is finding someone that can actually build it for you. I was lucky to find a CTO that was very, very capable. So he built the back end and also the Android app. But then, of course, we needed the iOS app as well. So we thought about either trying to find a local guy to build it here, but that turned out to be very expensive and complicated. And that's how we found you as well.
So yeah, just in case we sit in Stockholm, Sweden.
Yep.
And what would you like to know, like the time you started, that you already know after these 2 years, that would really help you?
I would like to have known how long it takes to develop an app. Because it's, like I referenced before, you think it's pretty simple, but then when you actually get into the nitty-gritty part of it and realize all the functions that you need and all the views and all the scenarios, user scenarios that you need to handle, that is a pretty daunting task. It might be good that you don't know it when you start out, because then you might not end up doing it. But I think I should have spent more time mapping it out to start with. And now it's kind of happened more organically, where we built one part and then discovered, okay, we need this too, and then we built that part, and so on and so forth. Which has resulted in a good product, but we've also scrapped maybe 20% of the work we've done. So it's not totally efficient to do it that way.
Cool.
Yeah.
What skill and knowledge help you most to to get first customers? And I know you have a big partner agreement coming up.
Yeah.
So what helped you in that?
Well, when we started building the app, I think it's very important to, right from the beginning, talk to the people that will actually use it. And in our case, it's both the companies that will use the app to take their bookings, and it's also the users that will make the bookings. So we've been very involved with several potential clients then to figure out exactly what their needs are and how we can meet them. So that's a pretty long process to implement all those features needed. But we've discovered, when you talk to enough people, you get a good sense of what you need to build and what you don't need to build, what you can wait with, so on and so forth. So now, after these 2 years, we have a complete product that fulfills more than the basic needs of our first customer set. But we're continuing to talking to them, saying how can we improve it, what's the next step, etc., etc.
Okay.
But then acquiring the first customer is always the most important, most difficult and most important.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have 1 or 2 or 3, those will take the longest and the hardest. Getting number 10, 11, 12 is, much more automated process. And also when you start with the first customer that goes live, you realize that there are issues even in the live version.
Yeah.
When they use it every day, they're like, okay, well, we're missing this button on this screen, it needs to be here. And you go through that for 2-3 months with the first customers, and then those issues are out of the way, and the next customers, you don't want to have the same issues.
Okay.
So it gets easier and easier. Progressively.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So you're working I checked already almost a year, 11 months or so.
Yeah.
What's your overall experience?
Working with Seductive?
Yeah.
We had a great experience from day one. Because I remember we sent down the Android app, so you can just build this for iPhone, and thinking you're just going to build a carbon copy for iPhone. But we got really good feedback from the start. We sensed that you really understood the product, understood what we wanted to do with it. So a lot of the suggestions you had, we even implemented in the Android app. So we've been seeing you more not only as just an outsourced contractor, but also a partner in developing the products with good feedback.
Good. So I know you've talked already to a couple of development companies, and what could be your advice to any other entrepreneur in search of vendors for the tech?
I mean, the easiest way is obviously if you can be referred by someone who's already used that particular firm. That was the case for me when I found you. But I've also tried other outsourcing outfits that didn't work at all. And my advice, when you start sensing it's not working, my advice is to cut your losses and move on. Because you can hope that it will be improved and maybe next month it will be better, so on and so forth. That rarely happens. So you end up wasting money and time that usually you don't have as a startup.
I see. Thank you so much. Look up the Agenda application on the App Store and Google Play.
Yep.
All the best with your projects, and thanks for the time.
Great.